Hey y'all, this is Kurt Dove. Thanks for checking out my YouTube channel again. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's plain and simple, Kurt Dove. So I want to talk to you real quick today about some awesome rods that I've been using for, the last 7 or 8 years, and they're Powell rods. Powell's really come out of the market again this year. They've got a new set of rods called the Inferno, and then that's kind of the, in that 130 range. Of course, they've got the standard that they've always had, the Powell Max rods, and then new this year they have the Super Duty, lightest, just awesome rods, and they're, that 350 range, and that's the Timax rods. But I'm going to go over here with you real quick. I get this question all the time. I need some fishing rods. What rods are going to cover the techniques that are most often, out there for bass fishing? So here is the 5 rods that you need to buy to cover all of your tactics. The first one, spinning rod, the Powell 703. Okay, you need the 703 for a couple different things. What this is going to do for you: shaky head fishing, phenomenal tip action for the shaky head. Just what I got it rigged up here. The drop shot, it's going to work for you really strong in that drop shot market. And if you like to really skip docks, it's got a light tip enough where you can skip that Senko underneath the docks. So first selection, Powell 703. Second rod you're going to need from Powell, the casting rod. That's the only spinning rod you're going to need. So we're going to have 1 spinning rod and then 4 casting rods. So here's the first casting rod. So this is the 703. Okay, this casting rod is good for a multitude of things. You can throw the spinner baits with it, like we've got hooked up here. It's awesome for top water fishing. It's got just the right tip for working any kind of walk the dog top water baits. You can use the 703 for jerkbait fishing. It's got just the perfect tip for jerkbait fishing as well. So all of those techniques can be covered by that 703 casting rod from Powell. The next one, this is my favorite rod in the entire lineup. It's the 734. Okay, what's the 734 going to do? 734, it's a 7-foot 3-inch rod. So that's the first thing that I really love about this rod. You get a lot of good leverage when you hook the fish, but also it's great for long casts. So what am I going to use this for? First thing, Carolina rigging. I'm going to use it for Carolina rigging as a big key. Second thing, and probably my favorite technique on this rod, is Texas rig and football jig fishing. This rod is phenomenal. It just works tremendously in those regards. So those are kind of the 3 big techniques I'm going to use with that Powell 734. Carolina rig, football jig, Texas rig. So that's 2 casting rods down. We're down to the 4th one. There's really nothing you can do to a rod to make it a frog rod unless it is just that. Boom. There's a little froggy on it, right on them too. Got the frog rod there. But this is the Powell 735. Okay, this rod is awesome for buzz frogs, hollow body frogs like the Optimum Furbit. This is the frog rod of all frog rods. It's got the tip just light enough so that you can twitch those frogs and get them to walk back and forth, that we all love to do. It's strong enough you can just pull the fire out of this thing, and it's just not going anywhere. You can hog those or get those big hogs out of the thickest and tightest cover, which we've got down at Lake Amistad. And believe me, I've been fishing these things down at Amistad for, like I said, the last 7 or 8 years, and it's just phenomenal. I've never had any issues with them at all. And you can just bear down on them. And a lot of times I'll find myself when I'm guiding, and I'll tell people that have hooked into a big fish, just try and break the rod, try and break it, because I know the rod's not going to break, but it's going to get those clients to pull those fish hard enough to get them out of that slop. So this is the last rod right here, 765. This is the ultimate flipping rod. This rod right here, the Powell 7065, is, it's got the perfect tip for flipping mats. It's got the backbone that you can jack them out of, flipping hydrilla, hyacinths, whatever it might be. This rod can also double as a swim bait rod. So that's the other tactic that you're going to use with this, that you're going to need. It's going to be able to throw those big long swim baits out there and wind them back really slow. It's got just the perfect little tip where you feel that touch when those big bass bite that swim bait. So flipping rod, swim bait rod, that's what you're going to use with that Powell 765. that is the lineup. 5 rods that can cover all of the techniques that you need in bass fishing. Make sure you check them out at powellco.com.